Good morning, folks. Give ourselves a few more minutes here. All right. Well, looks like it could be just the four of us today. And so Richard and I, so there are 2 of 9. So I have what could be 2 very short items to the agenda. Does anybody have any other agenda items that they want to discuss?
So, Paul, in the 2, have you considered the welcome deck that I mentioned last week?
The welcome kit, or yes,
The welcome slide deck for new members.
Considered it. I haven't. No one's done anything with it. So
No, I said I will first share the first version, then members can add to it.
Yeah.
So I will just quickly show that.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Anyone else have any other agenda items? Okay, the 2 I've got on my list are HPE joining. Looks like they've signed, and so we need to figure out what's going on there. And then discussions I've had around SmartNIC Summit with some of the members and some folks who might be getting involved from one of the companies that is involved with SmartNIC Summit. So those are my 2. Jan is here. Let me get that noted.
Yeah, sorry, I'm constantly late to this meeting because my previous one always runs over.
That's okay. I'm usually late to this meeting because my first cup of coffee hasn't kicked in yet. So.
Yeah, it is early for you.
So HPE joined Sridhar. My understanding is they signed all of the paperwork they needed to sign. Have they assigned people to the various working groups?
Yeah, I sent in my email. I sent to both you and Joe. I couldn't attend last week's DSC meeting. So last Thursday, I sent an email to both of you. So you didn't see, let me check.
I didn't. Let me go look for from emails from Sridhar.
Give me 1 second. Last. Oh, I sent to TSC private also. I think, yeah, maybe I missed it. So can I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Of course. So we have, they have named people for the main technical contact and these two for the API and platform areas.
Okay.
So they haven't mentioned anybody for the marketing and outreach thing. So I don't know whether they will nominate or anything. I just asked them. I'm waiting for the response. Yeah. Okay. So waiting for the response to share if they to nominate anybody for the marketing and outreach group.
Perfect. And have they assigned someone to the board? Would that be Reza?
No, board. They already have a representative, general
Okay.
member representative. I think Renato. So Renato is the general member representative. So they will reach out to Renato for anything if they want to talk to board. Kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While I'm sharing, can I also cover the topic?
Yeah. Before we go there,
yeah, I'll stop it.
We have a logo from them that is approved. I know that that was a sticking point, so we can put that on the website and that sort of thing.
So that I think I'm still waiting for them to send a document to LF and LF will sign, and in turn they will sign, and then I'm waiting for the formalities to get over. So they wanted some agreement with LF on the logo usage.
Okay. So not with OPI, but with LF.
LF, yeah. Apparently, they do it for all the project. It seems. So I'm just waiting for the formality to get over, so then I can get the logo and then we can put it in the.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right. Go ahead with your next one, and since you.
So last in the TSC, did we discuss the website issue, Paul?
Yes.
Okay. Any solutions?
I don't know what the solution is. We found that it is that happens on Windows, but not on Mac for some reason. So trying to figure out what it looks like it's a Hugo what do they call them? Like theme. I think it's a Hugo theme issue. And I wasn't able to find it. I did create an issue in the OPI GitHub for the OPI project GitHub for the website, so we could at least track it. But there's no one has signed on to fix that yet. Our Kyle has gone. I know that Boris has jumped in and done a few fixes here and there with the website, but no one's jumped in to fix that one.
Okay.
It does this, to me, signals that we need to have, in addition to having a branding person work with us on branding guidelines and the other things, that we do need to revisit the topic of having someone from LF actually manage and maintain the website, since we don't have anybody to do
But
that.
unfortunately, they don't do the Hugo part. They will. They're
Yeah, I
only,
know. They do it on WordPress. We'd have to have it migrated. I understand that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I put the link in the chat also. I have created these set of slides. There are 18 slides. Of course, first is just an introduction. Then we have into 4 categories. One is on the operations part. So any new member joins, these are the set of operations that they should take care of it. And there is an introduction to OPI. I have reused the 2 slides that you had presented. I think the team had presented, sorry, to the SNIA webinar.
Yep.
And just a quick one slider on the working groups and a bunch of requests to them. Once they complete all these things, we request to share the nominations and contributors to the working groups, the marketing support, membership pipeline support, and these kind of requests. So I had to fine tune this request, explain what this request really
Okay,
means.
so you thinking a slide per each of those or something?
Could be. I'll
Okay.
try to complete this one soon, and maybe we will have a better. So for the operation side, I'll start with the mailing list, so telling that, hey, this is the groups.io. You can subscribe to these things.
Yes.
Then for the Slack, we have these channels. She can share the name and email address. It will be added to the Slack thing. And then subscribe to the calendar for the meetings. Then important links, the website, the GitHub, the groups.io, the TSC meeting minutes, the marketing outreach meeting minutes, and some LF tools link.
Okay, great.
And the next is we request for I think I wanted to move it to the last one under the request for nominations. Yep. We need for the nominations for the TSC, the working groups, and the marketing and outreach.
And a board, right?
No, it depends. If it's a
necessarily.
premier member, it's only if it's a premium member, then we request for the board. That's what I want to add to the board if you are a premier member.
Got it. HPE is a premium member, correct?
No, HPE is a general member.
Oh, they are. Okay. Good. Good to know.
We may
just on this slide. Oh, sorry. Quick suggestion on the previous slide. Just list out all the working groups.
I have a separate slide here for the working groups. So this slide will go down. This slide will go down after the request thing.
Okay. Yeah. Whenever it is, or wherever it is in the deck, list out all the working groups.
Sure.
Just so that people have tendency to look at the working groups and potentially nominate more people.
Nah.
You know what I mean? So otherwise, it looks like you just need one person.
Okay. So yeah, so for example, if they're going through the slide deck, if they've seen the slide number 14 and all the working group details, then in this, do we still have to put the names here again? Would it help or?
I think it would help. This is just my, wearing my marketing hat. I think it will help just from the promotion and potentially getting more people involved, right? Promoting the need to have contributors in each of the groups.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure. Then these 2 slides are just as these are taken from the. So this is the first version I wanted to share with the team. Now I think if you want to add anything, we want to use this slide deck to any member who joins and give it to them when they join, so that things they can start smoothly. Okay, so my request is to if members in this call, if you can contribute to this slide deck, it'd be good.
Sure, I will. I've got it in the notes. It's being recorded. I will take a look at it later today.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks good. And I mean, I'm already in the deck, so kind of scroll through. Makes total sense. Thanks for pulling it together. I think it's
yes.
It's going to simplify your life too. answering all these ad hoc questions, you know, like, yeah, what is this? Where do I go with that? So just
Well, yeah,
ship them
and
with that.
I sent an email with many of the links and descriptions and things that are in this deck out to someone yesterday. So this will be a good thing to have.
Yeah, now we can just do a pointer, you know,
Mhm.
to Google Drive
Mhm.
and done.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know that Gene
Of course,
from Verizon was looking for things like this, was looking for a starting point that he could point his teams to. So I'll get it to him and take a look at sending it to the other folks I was working with yesterday.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good point you mentioned. I wanted to add the link to the latest presentation about introduction to more detailed introduction to OPI. Can I add that link also here? Can we add that link also here?
Sure. Do you have that link, or if not, I can give me just.
Yeah. The one we presented to SNA at SNA, that one, right?
Well, that one could be it, or we could just use the template deck.
So let me open that OPI presentation slides. This is the one, right?
Yeah, the template deck. Those are the two that are in there. This is the deck that we're wanting the.
Yeah, we need help with that one.
Yeah, this is the one we need help with.
Okay.
And it's the one from which we've taken all of the slides. The intro is, I think, is a good intro deck. The problem is that it's on SNIA's
Correct.
background.
Yeah. So since we're not on that topic, any updates or any, you know, anything from the designer front or having a designer?
Oh, did you get any response for your mail, Paul? From
I have not. So I asked in an email and in Slack for people to come back and see who was interested in attending and being part of that a meeting with LF, and so far it's me.
Okay, so
Johan, I think
can I go ahead
you're
and set up
interested
a
as
call?
well, but I haven't heard that, so didn't get.
So can I go ahead and set up the call then?
Let's go ahead and set up a call. Jan, are you interested in being part of that as well?
Sure. Yes.
I mean, at one point you said you were. I just wasn't sure if you were still interested.
I'm
but I did send out an
interested,
email
yeah.
and no one replied.
I'm interested.
Okay.
Yes. Let's just leave it.
Okay. Okay, we'll do that then. Hey, I have one more question. See, LF has this, the sales team in the LF creates this kind of list of potential members who can be part of a project. So I'm trying to add one for OPI and try to pick some 20 companies and take the help of sales to reach out to them and see their interest, kind of a thing. But I'm kind of stuck to pick these 20 names from here in this list. I have like a 170 organizations here. They're suggested to pick like 20 so that they can try to reach out and see the interest, kind of a thing.
Okay. And
But,
do you have a link to that, and we can start
I don't know whether you can access it or not. That's my worry, because this is from the LF sales thing, and they have it for all the projects here.
Oh, okay.
I was just trying to add one for OPI here and try to pick some of the organizations here. Yeah, so I don't know whether I can share it also. I don't know whether you'll have access thing. But I'm kind of
no. What you
here.
can do is you don't need to share the details, because there may be some, you know, customer specific details, but the names of the companies you can just copy paste. Yeah, exactly. Just copy paste it to one separate spreadsheet and share it with us. We'll take a look. I'm sure you can do the same thing, Sridhar. This is not, you know, I don't think it's rocket science. You know,
Yeah.
you pretty much know who we would be interested in recruiting, just given the kind of the focus of the project.
Hmm. Okay.
Like
So
I know a
shall I
Pokemon
explain?
company would qualify, for instance.
Potential orgs, yeah, potential members, OPI. So I will share with.
Yeah, call it like potential, outreach targets maybe instead of members.
Okay, potential outreach targets. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'll put this link here. So that I want to take help also from our sales team. If I can add some of their names, or they'll try to reach out and see if any interest is there or not. So can you, I think you will be having access now. I shared with the access also now with this page.
I am clicking it to see if I can get there. I can get there. Yep, got it.
Okay. Okay.
Guys, since I'm doing something very similar with the use case group anyways, please connect me to the sales teams and I can guide them and I can work with them on this. Simply because I'm doing something very similar with the use case group. In fact, we have a call with Charter today.
Okay. So, but the my problem is I don't know who in the sales will be working on it. It's all kind of open thing. Once I know that their name, I will connect with you, Elad. Elad, right? I think that's what.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I will do that, Elad. I'll try to get a name and I will try to connect them with you.
Thank you. I can also make sure that we're going after the big fish and not trying to join companies that have 2 people.
No disrespect, but yeah, I agree. Okay. So I think they suggested give me like 20 names. They sent a mail. I thought, let me add it and send it to them. Then they came back to me and asking them, you pick 20 names. We will try to help you kind of.
Got it.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I had from my side, Paul. Thanks. Sorry, I
All
took more than my share of time. Sorry.
No, that's just fine. The other topic that I've got is I've been working with Paul Boreal. He's on the SmartNIC Summit planning committee. He and I have been talking about potential keynote sessions to hold and what those need to look like. We will be working on a session at there that will be around defining what is a SmartNIC and what is a DPU, what is and then where OPI fits in that picture, where OPI and possibly other standards orgs fit in the picture. There seems to be the SmartNIC Summit wants to call everything that is a NIC a SmartNIC, kind of as an umbrella term, so they're covering it all since that's the name of their group. But we're trying to narrow that down and make sure that you can use SmartNIC as an umbrella term, but it really means these sorts of things, break it down. So we're looking at different ways to do that.
Paul, quick note on my end.
Yes.
2 of them actually, if I may. One is I don't think we should call what we're doing a SmartNIC at all, because as you said it yourself, a lot of the NIC makers say their NIC is a SmartNIC. So I think we should shy away from that term. It's DPU IPU. It's not a SmartNIC. And there are many presentations that explain the difference between the 2. And the difference is simple: a programmable device on the card. That's the main thing. But the second note is
right.
Sorry,
so my understanding was the main thing was a full compute complex on the card. Is that what you're
exactly?
Yeah,
exactly. Yes. So that's one. 2. This conference, at least last time, attracted very technical people, meaning
Yes.
that we didn't need to explain to them what it is, and we didn't need to say the marketing jargon says this or that. Actually, the sessions were very technical in nature, sometimes extremely technical. So I think if we go for a session there, we can actually deep dive pretty technically. I mean, talk about
Oh
the
yeah, no, I
APIs.
think for sessions, once the call for breakouts comes out, we should flood the market with technical sessions. We're talking about one of the main stage keynotes, is what I'm working on right now.
Even in the keynote again.
You think they should be technical?
Yeah, because the crowd that came in last time, it's not a session, it's not a show for clients, meaning you won't find like an IT guy from Ford or an IT guy from McDonald's. You'll find Intel guys, Red Hat guys, NVIDIA guys. That's the sort of people you'll find there. So it's actually, to me at least, it makes more sense to say, hey, this is OPI, this is what we've done so far. If you haven't heard it, this is where we're going, this is our perception. And hopefully with that, get people nodding their heads and saying, yeah, that makes sense to me. I want to do that. Go back to their companies and say, I heard about what these guys are doing. They're on track with what we're doing. Let's join.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, one of the discussions for kind of a main keynote would be to have this Paul Baril is friends with Bob Metcalf and is trying to convince him to do the main keynote session, and tie it in somehow with the 50-year birthday of Ethernet coming up this year. So trying to tie that in as the main keynote, and then we were looking at other ones. The one I wanted was around, how to define what is a SmartNIC and what is a DPU, and making it known that OPI is focusing on DPUs. But if you think that more technical ones,
I'll say it like this. Last time when we had that conference, it was the first conference.
Yes.
And as soon as you got on stage and you saw who's in the crowd, you understood that you don't need to define.
Okay.
You can say in one sentence that the way you view what you're working on is a programmable compute complex on a card or on a design, but that's it. They will get it. Everybody there is technical. They will get it. And then you can continue and say what you're actually working on.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. That is helpful. I'll see what we can do to work that in as well. So Paul Baril is just launched a new company called Daedalus out of Stealth last week at the Chiplet Summit. And he was asking for information about OPI. So that's the company I sent, a bunch of links to. Here's how you join the subgroups and take a look around and listen to what we're doing. So I don't know if anybody has heard of them and what they're doing, but I didn't get a very deep dive into what they're doing. He's supposed to send me their pitch deck and some other things here soon, so I can get a better feel for what it is they're doing. But it does seem that they're trying to take he resonated very well with the trust line diagram that we have, that shows the PCIe bus being the trust diagram, or the trust line.
Oh, sorry. Who is this? What was the name?
His name is Paul Baril, Borrill. He years ago was a distinguished engineer at Sun. He's worked at Apple. He's been all over the place, and he's got a new startup called Daedalus. So, and he's part of the committee that's working on SmartNIC Summit and planning that. He was also the founder of SNIA 20 some odd years ago. He was one of the founders of that organization. So he's been around doing this stuff for a long time. And he was intrigued and he's been intrigued and interested in what we're doing at OPI.
No, that's cool. I just, I lost somewhere that, lost the connection between the two, but so he's now has a startup. Okay.
He now has a startup. So that's he's been working on it for a couple of years, and they just had their first public presentation this last week.
Cool. Yeah, on the security side, and the trust line, I think the other thing that we should be looking collectively into is establishing a better ties or better clarity of understanding between like confidential compute, the CCC project, and OPI.
Okay.
So I think that's, if not immediately, but in the very near future, should be a big topic. It's all obviously dependent on the proliferation of the DPUs and IPUs, which we believe is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And when it does, that's a good use case and good platform to implement confidential compute.
Sridhar, you asked about, are we considering sponsoring at SmartNIC Summit? They have, knowing that we're new to this game, they've said that we don't need to do a formal one. There are a couple of us that are, so John Kim is quite involved with what's happening at SmartNIC Summit, getting it set up. Manoj is involved. Trying to think who else is. Trying to get someone from Red Hat involved. They've asked for that, and we don't have anybody involved there. I've sent a message out to Ben, but I haven't got anything back. Where was I going with that?
Answer is no, right?
What's that?
So the answer is no.
So no formal sponsorship. We've talked about, and they've asked if we want to have co-located, like hold our TSC meeting for the week in person at the event, and they'd provide a space to do that. If we wanted to hold the outreach committee meeting in person at the event, they'd provide space to do that. If we want those sorts of things.
Okay. That'll be
So
for free.
informal sponsorship, just because there's a lot of people in OPI that are putting into the SmartNIC Summit, because we felt we could get some mileage out of that.
That's great. Yeah.
Paul, if we have those meetings at the summit, are we inviting guests to be a fly on the wall?
At our events, I mean, at our meetings, say if we did a TSC meeting, we should, yes.
Yeah, just to get them a feel to what it feels like. I mean, when you talk about it, it's nice, but if we let them be like a crowd watching a play sort of a thing, where we show them how in real time people from all of these companies work together and discuss, I think that will be a show of force.
I think so as well. It would be a good thing to do is have, especially for a TSC meeting, is have several of, if not everyone on the TSC in person there discussing, and allow others to join, to listen in. Yeah, I agree. I'll bring that up with Joe, and see what his thoughts are on that. I'm pretty sure he'll be down for that, but yeah, that'll be those are the kinds of things that they've offered without doing a formal sponsorship package. If I remember right, they did have like a booth or tables or things like that, but it was very, it wasn't the best venue to do that sort of marketing pitch, to buy a table. Alad, was that you that said that last time, that we ought not consider
Yeah, at least again, I'm basing all I'm saying about what it was like last time. So the tables were set in a like a C shape inside a room. It
Right.
felt like a science project in the 3rd grade, and
Yes.
every table was like a classroom table, so you didn't have a lot of space. It just felt, you know, like shows you would see on Halt and Catch Fire.
Yep.
Not like something we would want to put there.
Halt and Catch. Okay. Yes. Yes. Got it. Yeah. No, I get it. I've been to some shows like that where the expo hall is just really dead. And so that's one of the reasons we didn't do a sponsorship is that it just didn't seem like the right venue to do it.
What we could do, again, I've got many ideas on the marketing tricks. For example, every person that goes to the show that is also an OPI member should have a tag that either twists around or a tag that says something. So we can either equip them with shirts that say OPI, so they have the tag of the company that they're working for and an OPI shirt, or their tag will just have like an OPI theme to it.
We can also do a pin. We can order some pins that people can put on their clothing.
Yeah. Or on their
Or the badge lanyard, yeah. Because typically these conferences, this particular may not care, but typically the bigger ones, the badges are produced, and they very highly discourage any tampering with it. So we can order lanyards that would say OPI. That's also typically popular and visible. Yeah. We can order pins that you can just put on your, I don't know, jacket, your whatever item of clothing that you're wearing, and or both, right?
Or shirts. We can do shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, shirts. I mean, t-shirts, shirts, like nice polo shirts especially for those who like presenting. That'd be good. Again, it's up to typically it is up to the individual how he or she wants to dress, but if you do a lanyard, it's less, forcing. If you do a pin, it's less, kind of limiting, more application areas or scenarios. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah. So I like the lanyard and the pin idea. And that might be even I don't know if they've got that part. They've even thought about that. Sridhar, is that for printing and those sorts of things, is that still the same? Is it paperclip promotions that LF wants to use for those sorts of things?
Correct.
Okay.
If you're happy with it, yeah.
Yeah, it took them a long time to get stickers to me, but the stickers are nice once they got to me. So, and I've sent out probably 50 stickers to different people who've requested them. So sent like 3 to 5 to everybody who's 2 to 3 to 5 that folks who ask for them. Depends on how many they ask for. But that's another thing that we will need to do is order a larger batch of stickers for a conference like this. And Sridhar, I don't remember if we were given an actual amount that we could just go spend on items like this from the board, or do we have to go to them every time we want to spend?
No, we don't have to go. We just have now we don't have to go. For that part it's approved, we can just proceed to spend.
Okay.
Only if you want to cross that limit, then we may have to go to the board.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, one more question I had. If we bring in a lab to the OPI, right? A lab partner for the OPI, lab who
Yes.
provides the lab as a service, right? They are the ones who will be like procuring hardware and doing all those things. Do we also maybe ask them to be like kind of a general member of OPI, or that may not be required?
Oh, so if we ask UNH to take that on, is that what you're saying?
That's an example. For example, if we select UNH as our partner, then we ask, hey, UNH, why don't you be our general member kind of a thing? And so that they're also like one of the general members of OPI. Would it make sense, or?
I mean, it'd be nice to have more general members, but I don't know that it is necessary.
The way I am looking at it is because we'll be having some kind of business engagement with them. It's okay for them to consider a general membership or something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I don't think I want to require it as a condition of being a vendor
Yeah.
to us.
Of course. Just like a goodwill, we can just check
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah. I think that would be good.
Okay, I'll keep a note of it then.
Because if I remember right, we're looking at least 3 right now: Tech Mahindra, UNC, and then another one that you brought to us just recently.
Oh, Sarvana.
You mean
Yeah.
UNH or?
Yeah, UNH, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Their worry is that they are in UK, the Sarvana guys, but yeah.
Yeah. That was I don't know if it got back to you, but that was a question that came out of that lab meeting was, what about hosting it in countries outside of the US? Are there any, because of import restrictions? And we were going to, someone, I don't know who took up the reins for this, was going to ask for the LF legal team to weigh in on that.
Okay, I can check it. I'll open a ticket and get. So the way they for any hardware, they say their answer is no. Linux Foundation does not manage any hardware. So it will be it's a engagement between the project and the lab provider. So
Correct.
It's an agreement between them.
Yeah,
And
but
if that outside US, if they can procure all this hardware from the US without increasing the cost too much, then it should be okay. Those let me get a formal answer from the legal and then I'll share.
okay, sounds good. Like I would definitely think that we wouldn't want to host a lab in Syria, but I think I could answer that one. But what about the UK? Like you said, one of these is
yeah,
suggesting the
because
UK.
UK and US, it's pretty easy most of the time.
India is another one that would come up.
It's still a challenge. I mean, procuring some of the hardware can get delayed and some time consuming and something.
Yep. So anyway, if you want to ping the legal team on that would be, and get a.
I'll do that.
It would be good to get an answer.
Yep.
All right. If nothing else, that's all I had on my agenda. Perfect. Well, thank you.
See you all next week.
If anybody has missed any of the previous meetings, they are going up on slowly. I'm getting them up on YouTube. So folks are interested in going there and checking those out, that would be great.
We're able to share the UNH presentation. We're not
thank
share,
you.
but like post it.
I haven't been
somewhere,
able to post it. I downloaded it and I haven't put it on Drive yet. I will do that and find a way to share it with everybody and let everybody that's on that thread know about it.
Cool.
Anyone in the call has experience with UNH?
Not directly.
Yeah, not directly. So we did meet with them once back in the Diamond Bluff days. We met with UNH and got a presentation on the services they provide. And that meeting was recorded And Jan sent me the recording last week, and I'm going to, I'll post it to those that are in that lab group.
Yeah, because I'm the end user over last year or so. It's very challenging sometimes.
Oh, is it?
We'll come back to that.
We want to hear from you if that's the
Yeah.
case.
What's
Trust me, we
challenging
do.
about it?
The VPN issues. The VPN issues has been a nagging almost every time. It keeps disconnecting.
VPN.
We have been requesting them to fix the VPN issue, because when you're working, right, if the VPN gets disconnected, it's a huge pain.
Yeah, it is. I get that.
Yeah, and also the delay in if some of the connectivity or some things happen, the resolution is not like quick. I mean, this is what I have experienced from as an end user.
Okay.
So we have to put. I will definitely when we have a serious discussion, I'll put all these conditions from my experience.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I think that's we need, and I know Intel's been a big user of them in the past, and that's where that recommendation came from. So we may want to get someone from Intel also provide some feedback on that.
Yeah, of course there are some definitely positives thing, but I can definitely share the negatives.
No, I mean,
And
it's
we can
good to
capture these
understand.
points and put it in the agreement kind of a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but it's also good to understand how a remote, outside of US, member developer, right, would be, what experiences may look like.
Correct.
Because I know we're going to have people from basically all over the world trying to access these resources. So like, we cannot test it. We cannot say definitively whether it's going to work or not, or what issues we're going to experience. So yeah, your feedback is
And see,
very
for me,
valuable.
especially when you're working, right, when you raise a ticket, or there's no ticketing system, proper ticketing system also, we have to send over email, and it will take some time. The response times they should improve on the response time, definitely.
Okay. Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah, more later then.
Yep. All right. Thank you much. Everyone, have yourself a great rest of the day, and we'll see you next week, if not sooner.
Yep. Sure.
Bye.
Sounds good. Thanks, Paul. Bye. Thanks.